Okay, so we have this piece just resting on top of our frame, like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 red pieces, and our longer sides are going to go in so that they help to lock this into place. You might need to play with the sensor a little bit to get it lined up right so that those slide right in. And then on the other side, we are going to do the 2 blue pegs. Long end goes in. Like that. So this is what we have at this point. Then we are going to take our connection pegs with the friction axles, and we're going to put the friction axle piece on this side into those red connection pieces with the bushing end. And we're going to pop those into place over here. We'll then need a 9 piece, and that is going to go over these. So you're going to start with the longest connection peg that's sticking out, line it up and start to slide that on, and then align it with those shorter pegs. And you want that to be flush as possible. The next sensor we're going to need is the touch sensor. It has the red piece that pushes in. And our touch sensor is going to connect on this side, on these 2 connection pieces, the blue ones on this side. So we're going to line that up and just slide that into place. You'll then need 1 connection piece with a friction axle, and your friction axle piece is going to go inward in the center of the touch sensor, bottom piece here, to help lock that securely so that there's no movement. We're going to need another 9 piece. And we're going to put that and line it up on our connection pegs. And make that as flush as we can and snap that piece into place. The next sensor we're going to use is the color sensor. And we will need 2 of the connection with friction. and then that color sensor. And what we're going to do is this piece up, and we're going to put our friction connections in here so they stick out on the other side. And then that piece, we will need 2 of the 5 beam modules, 2 of those, and we're going to put 1 of those on either side of that color sensor. And we want to make sure that the beams don't extend beyond this part here. So we're going to line those up in position 1 and 3 on those beams. So now that sensor looks like that from the bottom, and we have it positioned like this from the top. We're then going to take 4 black connection pegs with the friction, and we're going to put them in the bottom 2 holes on each side here. So I'm going to do 2 here, and then 2 on the opposite side. And then we will need 2 beams with actually a double cross hole. And we'll need 2 connection pegs with a friction/axle on them. So these first 2, we want the rounded end here, where we have that cross in it, to be towards where our connection that we're going to connect this into our power supply brick. And so we're just going to snap that into place. And we're going to do the same on the opposite side of the color sensor. And then coming out the top of both of these with our axle connection going inward and our friction connection being outward, we're going to pop those 2 pieces into place. We can then take our color sensor. We're actually going to flip this whole piece over. We want our color sensor to be facing downward when our junior droid is moving, and so we're going to use these 2 connectors to go into the original frame that held our motors together. And it's going to snap into place. So here's our color sensor right here. Okay, next you're going to need a 6 measurement axle, and you are going to slide that through. Here, and we're going to take 2 bushings on that. So we're going to do 1 bushing on this side, And if you have one of the pieces where like the bushing is already built on and the piece sticks out, you can use that, but we didn't have that in our kit, so I'm modifying the design a little bit. And on the other side, we're gonna have one yellow bushing on the opposite side. And then we are going to use one gray module bushing. Like that. Next we will want the hub. And we might need to adjust this just a little bit so that we can get that hub in here. It'd just be easier to take it apart and pop this in. We're going to pop that back into place. So then we will need 2 red axle pieces and 3 red bushing axle extenders. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the bushing axle extenders and then we're going to put one of these into place, those red axle bushing pieces, and then we're going to connect with another one, and then put this one on and that one on, and then all of this together is going to go on the axle. So you might have to push your black axle that's running through your wheel through a little bit so it sticks out on this side, and then pop that on. I didn't really want to stay where I had it, so I have to pop that back into place again. So that is on like that. Okay, so we are going to need another hub and another 6-inch rod with a bushing, and we're going to put this bushing on this side, and that's going to go through over here. Looks like this side needs to move back down. There we go. That'll end up lining up there. And then we'll need another spacer. Actually, we're going to take one of these off because I don't think we're going to need both of them. Pop that on, and then this can go into place here. It looks like we will need that other piece. It's looking like it's going to be a little too tight to get it all in here though. So I just might need to compress this part a smidge. So we're going to want to put this through, and then as that comes through, we're going to do a yellow bushing on the other side, and then a gray spacer. This is going to get a bit tight in our workspace here. So it might be easier if we pop this entire unit side off while we get these pieces into place. And we'll line back up and snap this in.